Which of these statements is true about large trucks? A. They take longer to stop than passenger vehicles. B. They all have air brakes that allow them to stop quickly. C. They are more maneuverable than passenger vehicles. A. They take longer to stop than passenger vehicles. Large trucks take longer to stop than other vehicles traveling at the same speed. The average passenger vehicle traveling at 55 miles per hour can stop within 400 feet. However, a large truck traveling at the same speed can take almost 800 feet to stop. When driving at night, you should A. Always use your high beams. B. Look directly at the headlights of an oncoming vehicle. C. Increase your following distance. C. Increase your following distance. Driving at night is more hazardous than daytime driving because the lowered visibility makes it difficult to judge speed, distances, and other potential hazards. Increase your following distance to help prevent a potential collision if the vehicle in front of you should stop abruptly. Use your headlights when driving at night, following the rules for proper usage of high beams and low beams. If you are being followed too closely on a two-lane road? A. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. B. Speed up to increase the distance between you and the other car. C. Apply your brakes to slow down, then resume your original speed. A. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. If you are being followed too closely by another driver, merge into a different lane. If there is no lane available for merging, wait until the road ahead is clear and slowly reduce your speed. This will encourage the tailgater to drive around you. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. Traffic signal ahead. C. Railroad ahead. A. No U-turn. This sign indicates that U-turns are prohibited.
Want to ace your DMV test? Go to cheatsheets.com and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Trucks' blind spots are A. Directly behind the body. B. On the immediate left of the cab. C. Both on the immediate left of the cab and directly behind the body. C. Both on the immediate left of the cab and directly behind the body. A truck's blind spots are much larger than a smaller car's blind spots. The driver cannot see your car behind their vehicle, and you can't see what's happening in traffic ahead if you're driving too closely behind the truck. Whether you are driving behind or to the side of the truck, if you can't see the driver's face in their side view mirror, then they can't see you. This sign means A. Winding road ahead. B. Do not enter. C. Pedestrian crossing. A. Winding road ahead. This sign warns of a winding road ahead. What does this road sign mean? A. Winding road. B. Loose gravel. C. Slippery when wet. C. Slippery when wet. This sign indicates that the road may be slippery when wet. Exercise caution when driving on a slippery road. When driving on an interstate, to avoid traffic merging from on-ramps to your right, the best thing to do is to A. Change lanes to the left. B. Slow down. C. Maintain your speed and position. A. Change lanes to the left. When driving on an interstate highway, be aware of upcoming on-ramps. When traffic permits, move out of the right-hand lane to allow vehicles to enter from the on-ramps to your right. When you drive through a construction zone, you should A. Stop to watch the workers. B. Decrease your following distance. C. Pass the construction zone carefully and not rubberneck. C. Pass the construction zone carefully and not rubberneck. To avoid contributing to chronic traffic congestion, you should not rubberneck. That is, you should not slow down to look at out of the ordinary things. You hit a parked vehicle and can't find the owner. What must you do? A. Call your insurance company when you get home. B. Wait for the owner to return. C. Leave a note with your name and address on the parked vehicle. C. Leave a note with your name and address on the parked vehicle. If you hit a parked vehicle or other property, you must leave a note with your name, phone number, and address securely attached to the vehicle or property that you hit. If you have an argument with another person and you are angry, you should A. Loudly play the radio while driving so you won't think about your argument. B. Take a few minutes to cool off before driving. C. Drive on the interstate to let off steam. B. Take a few minutes to cool off before driving. Your emotions affect your ability to drive safely. If you are overly angry, excited, afraid, worried, or depressed, you should give yourself time to calm down before operating a vehicle. You need to be able to mentally focus on driving without thinking about the things that made you upset. The speed limit in school zones is A. 20 miles per hour. B. 30 miles per hour. C. 45 miles per hour. A. 20 miles per hour. Unless otherwise posted, drivers in school zones may not drive faster than 20 miles per hour. Always use caution when driving near children. Double solid yellow line markings down the center of a road indicate that passing is A. Allowed from both directions. B. Allowed only from your direction of travel. C. Not allowed from either direction. C. Not allowed from either direction. A double yellow centerline means that it is prohibited for traffic from either direction to cross the centerline to pass. When approaching a curve in the roadway, drivers should slow down. A. Before entering the curve. B. After completing the curve. C. In the middle of the curve. A. Before entering the curve. Adjust your speed before entering a curve. Driving too fast around a curve can cause your tires to lose contact with the road. Before backing your vehicle, you should A. Walk completely around the vehicle to be sure no person or obstacle is behind it. B. Rev your engine. C. Flash your high-beam headlights. A. Walk completely around the vehicle to be sure no person or obstacle is behind it. Before driving in reverse, you should walk completely around your vehicle to make sure no person or obstacle is behind it. Look over your shoulder and out the rear window when backing. Do not depend only on your mirrors. This sign means A. 4-lane traffic ahead. B. Divided highway ahead. C. 2-way traffic ahead. C. 2-way traffic ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns that you are leaving a separated one-way highway and will soon be driving on a two-way highway. A pedestrian starts to cross the street after the "Don't walk" signal begins to flash. The pedestrian is in the middle of the street when your signal light changes to green. You should A. Proceed if you have the right of way. B. Proceed if the pedestrian is not in your lane. C. Wait until the pedestrian crosses the street before proceeding. C. Wait until the pedestrian crosses the street before proceeding. At a green light, you must give the right of way to any vehicle, bicyclist, or pedestrian in the intersection. If a pedestrian begins crossing the street after the traffic signal light starts flashing, wait until they have crossed the street before proceeding. When approaching a yield sign, you should first A. Check for cross traffic. B. Increase your speed. C. Come to a complete stop. A. Check for cross traffic. Check for cross traffic when approaching a yield sign. If there is cross traffic, you may need to come to a complete stop to wait for traffic to pass before merging onto the roadway. Children on bicycles should be given extra space by motor vehicle operators because A. They do not have the same physical reflexes as adults. B. They are smaller and more difficult to see than adults. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Children are often the least predictable pedestrians and the most difficult pedestrians to see. Take extra care to look out for children, especially near schools, bus stops, playgrounds, parks, and ice cream trucks. Be aware of children riding bikes on the sidewalk, as they may come onto the road unexpectedly. Motorcycles, scooters, and mopeds are not easy to see, therefore you should A. Slow down when driving. B. Make constant visual checks. C. Share a lane with a motorcycle. B. Make constant visual checks. Motorcycles can be easily hidden in a vehicle's blind spot or missed in a quick look due to their small size. Drivers of cars must always be alert and looking for motorcycles, mopeds, and scooters. Which of the following is a dangerous habit when driving in work zones? A. Tailgating another vehicle. B. Failing to carefully watch for workers and moving equipment. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. When driving in a work zone, adjust your speed for the traffic conditions and don't follow other vehicles too closely. Be attentive to workers and machines in the work zone. Which of these statements is true about drugs and driving? A. Any prescription drug is safe to use if you don't feel drowsy. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. C. Only illegal drugs can impair your driving. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. Legal prescription and over-the-counter drugs can impair your ability to drive, including drugs taken for colds, hay fever, allergies, or to calm nerves or muscles. It is illegal to drive while under the influence of any drug that impairs your ability to drive safely. This law does not differentiate between illegal, prescription, or over-the-counter drugs. What should a driver do when approaching a traffic control signal that is not in operation? A. Come to a full stop and yield the right of way before entering the intersection. B. If the intersection is clear, the driver does not need to stop. C. Drive quickly through the intersection to get out of the way of other vehicles. A. Come to a full stop and yield the right of way before entering the intersection. When traffic control signals are not working, a driver must always treat the intersection as an all-way stop and come to a complete stop, unless otherwise directed by law enforcement. The driver must then look and yield the right-of-way before entering the intersection. If you are about to be hit from the rear, you should consider each of the following except for A. Applying your brakes. B. Letting go of the steering wheel. C. Pressing your head firmly against the head restraint. B. Letting go of the steering wheel. If your vehicle is hit from the rear while you are in forward motion, your body will be thrown backward. Press yourself against the back of your seat and put your head against the head restraint to prevent whiplash. Maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel and be ready to apply your brakes to avoid being pushed into another vehicle. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. Green, red, yellow. A. Red, yellow, green. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns drivers about the presence of traffic signals at an intersection ahead. Before you enter an intersection, you should look to your A. Left, your right, then your left again. B. Right. C. Left. A. Left, your right, then your left again. Before you enter an intersection, look to both the left and right for approaching vehicles or crossing pedestrians. Look to your left a second time, as vehicle approaching from your left will be closer than those approaching from your right. Look across the intersection before you start to move to make sure the path is clear all the way through. You should not use your horn. A. When visibility ahead is limited. B. If you might hit another vehicle. C. Near blind pedestrians. C. Near blind pedestrians. When driving near a blind pedestrian, using your horn may be dangerous. Yield to the pedestrian and proceed when it is safe to do so. If you are continually being passed on the right and the left while driving in the center lane of an expressway, you should A. Stay in the center lane. B. Move to the lane on your right. C. Move to the lane on your left. B. Move to the lane on your right. If a road has 4 or more lanes with two-way traffic, drive in the right lanes unless you are passing or turning left. If you are on an interstate highway and are driving below the speed of the flow of traffic, use the right lane. Continuous hard braking on ice and snow often A. Helps you stop faster. B. Locks the front wheels of a vehicle, causing a loss of steering. C. Keeps the brakes from freezing. B. Locks the front wheels of a vehicle, causing a loss of steering. Continuous hard braking on snow and ice can result in the locking of the front brake, causing a loss of steering. To avoid the need for excessive braking, make sure to maintain an appropriate speed for conditions. If you encounter an aggressive driver, you should A. Challenge them. B. Get out of their way. C. Speed up. B. Get out of their way. Drivers must respect and cooperate with all other road users and conform to specific rules in order to maintain order and to avoid crashes. When encountering an aggressive driver, it is safest to just get out of their way. Always avoid competing with other drivers. Prior to entering a curve, A. Activate your turn signal. B. Reduce your speed. C. Brake hard. B. Reduce your speed. You may drive more slowly than the posted speed limit, based on road conditions, but it is illegal to drive any faster than the posted speed limit. Some conditions which require reduced speed for safety include approaching curves or hills where visibility is limited, driving on slippery roads, and driving on roads where animals and pedestrians are present. Which of the following blocks the smooth flow of traffic? A. Slowing down to look at collision scene. B. Avoiding unnecessary lane changes. C. Using public transportation instead of your vehicle. A. Slowing down to look at collision scene. Rubbernecking, the practice of slowing down to look at collisions or other out-of-the-ordinary things, contributes to traffic congestion and should be avoided. When a pedestrian guided by a dog or carrying a white cane is crossing the street. A. You must always yield the right of way. B. You must tell them where to cross the street. C. You only have to yield the right of way if you are at a corner. A. You must always yield the right of way. Blind or partially blind pedestrians may carry a white cane or use the assistance of a guide dog. You must always yield the right of way to a pedestrian who is using a guide dog or carrying a white cane. This road sign means A. Bicycle crossing. B. Stop only if other cars are approaching. C. Yield the right of way to pedestrians. A. Bicycle crossing. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. These signs alert drivers to areas where bicycles may be crossing. It is illegal for a person 21 years of age or older to drive with a minimum blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of A. 0.05%. B. 0.08%. C. 0.02%. B. 0.08%. For drivers age 21 or older, it is illegal to operate a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of 0.08% or higher. Driving while under the influence of alcohol is not only illegal, but dangerous. When preparing to make a left turn from a two-way street, you should drive A. Near the right-hand side of the road. B. Near the centerline. C. On the left of the centerline. B. Near the centerline. When you are turning left from a two-way street, begin in the lane closest to the centerline and start your turn just before the front of your car reaches the center of the intersection. Do not cut the corner. Steering hand over hand, turn into the first available legal lane. When driving at night, you should A. Always use your high beams. B. Look directly at the headlights of an oncoming vehicle. C. Increase your following distance. C. Increase your following distance. Increase your following distance when it is difficult to see due to darkness. Use headlights to increase visibility, following the rules for proper use of high beams and low beams. Avoid looking directly at the headlights of an oncoming vehicle to avoid being blinded by the glare. You are entering a freeway. Check traffic on the freeway by A. Using your rear view and side mirrors. B. Using your rear view mirror. C. Using your side mirror and looking over your shoulder. C. Using your side mirror and looking over your shoulder. When entering any roadway, you must be aware of traffic conditions. Use your side mirror and look over your shoulder to help you see and anticipate traffic when entering a freeway. Which of these statements is true about drinking alcohol and driving? A. If you can walk in a straight line after drinking, it is safe to drive. B. If you are under the legal blood alcohol concentration limit, your driving isn't impaired. C. Alcohol affects judgment, which is needed to drive safely. C. Alcohol affects judgment, which is needed to drive safely. Being under the influence of alcohol affects your judgment. Good judgment is necessary to react appropriately to things that you see or hear while on the road. Even if you are below the legal blood alcohol limit, consuming any amount of alcohol is likely to affect your ability to drive safely. If it feels like your tires have lost contact with the surface of the road, you should A. Slow down by shifting into a lower gear. B. Ease your foot off the gas pedal. C. Slow down by pumping the brakes quickly and firmly. B. Ease your foot off the gas pedal. If it feels like your tires have lost contact with the surface of the road, you should ease your foot off the gas pedal and stay off the brakes. Do not try to stop or turn until your tires are gripping the road again. Using a cell phone while operating a motor vehicle is considered a distraction because A. It causes the driver to be concerned about the cost of the call. B. It occupies the driver's hands, eyes, and mind. C. It is an activity that draws the attention of other drivers. B. It occupies the driver's hands, eyes, and mind. Using a cell phone while driving is dangerous because it occupies the user's eyes, hands, and mind. Even the most skilled drivers increase their risk of being involved in a crash by using a cell phone on the road. When passing, you should move back into the right lane when A. You are one vehicle length ahead of the passed vehicle. B. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. C. You are 50 feet ahead of the passed vehicle. B. You can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror. Do not pass unless you have enough space to return to the driving lane. Before you return to the driving lane, be sure you have enough room between yourself and the vehicle you have passed. When you can see both headlights of the passed vehicle in your rearview mirror, it is safe to return to the driving lane. This sign means A. Change in direction or narrowing of roadway. B. No right turn. C. No passing zone. A. Change in direction or narrowing of roadway. This sign warns a driver of a change in direction or a narrowing of the road. A driver may find several of these signs on the outside of a sharp curve or on approaches to a narrow bridge. You want to park uphill on a two-way road and there is no curb. Which direction do you turn your front wheels? A. Straight ahead. B. Right, toward the side of the road. C. Left, toward the center of the road. B. Right, toward the side of the road. When parking either uphill or downhill on a road that has no curb, you should turn your wheels so that the vehicle will roll away from the center of the road if the brakes fail. If you are getting tired while driving, you should A. Stop and either get rest or change drivers. B. Drink something with caffeine. C. Open a window. A. Stop and either get rest or change drivers. To avoid the dangers of fatigued driving, take breaks every hour or so during a long trip. If possible, share driving responsibilities with another person so you can each sleep while the other person drives. Which of these is a safe driving technique? A. Using your high beam lights in the fog. B. Staring at the road ahead of your vehicle. C. Checking your rearview mirrors frequently. C. Checking your rearview mirrors frequently. To stay aware of hazards, you should scan the road and check your rearview mirrors every 2 to 5 seconds. Constantly staring at just the road ahead of you is dangerous. If you must drive in foggy conditions, you should use your low beam headlights, not your high beam headlights. At a railroad crossing, you must A. Watch for vehicles that must stop at all railroad crossings, school buses, trucks carrying hazardous materials, etc. B. Watch for multiple trains. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. You must approach all railroad crossings with extreme caution and cross only when you know that no train is coming from either direction. Be aware of vehicles that must stop at all railroad crossings, such as school buses and trucks carrying hazardous materials. While driving on a roadway with a single broken white centerline. A. You must stay within your lane. B. You may cross the centerline to change lanes. C. You may change lanes only from the left lane. B. You may cross the centerline to change lanes. White lines between lanes indicate that the lanes are traveling in the same direction. Broken white line markings indicate that it is legal to pass another vehicle when safe. At an intersection with a yield sign, you A. Must yield the right of way to cross traffic that is close enough to cause conflict. B. Must yield to vehicles only on your right. C. Should slow down but never stop. A. Must yield the right of way to cross traffic that is close enough to cause conflict. When approaching a yield sign, drivers must give the right of way to traffic already in the lanes that they intend to enter or cross. Drivers should be prepared to stop when approaching a yield sign but may continue without stopping if there is no conflicting traffic. No zones are areas around trucks where cars A. Disappear into blind spots or are so close that they restrict the truck driver's ability to stop and maneuver safely. B. Have sufficient space to travel behind the truck. C. Have several car lengths between their vehicle and the truck. A. Disappear into blind spots or are so close that they restrict the truck driver's ability to stop and maneuver safely. No zones are areas around trucks or buses in which cars disappear into the larger vehicle's blind spots. No zones can also be defined as areas in which cars are so close to the larger vehicle that they restrict the truck or bus driver's ability to stop and maneuver safely. A car being in a no zone greatly increases the potential for a crash.